Today I'll be giving you my first impressions on the Renew Ride 3 by Nike. Throughout the video, I'll give you my thoughts on the shoe so far, wearing them for running, training, and casually. The Renew Ride 3 released a few weeks ago at the end of April/beginning of May. It retails for $75 US, which is actually the same price as the last generation, and I got them in US size 11, which is true to size for me. This third generation changed the overall design and silhouette of the Renew Ride compared to its first two generations. The shoe is now a bit flatter against the ground, wider overall, and with an upper that feels more durable and higher quality. The Renew foam also changed, with Nike claiming that this is the softest version of Renew. The foam on this third generation of the Renew Ride still feels quite rigid while running though, compared to more premium foams like React, but it definitely feels more cushioned and even more stable than the last version, which we also tested here on the channel. From the moment I started warming up, they felt a lot more secure and wider than the last version, which was quite reassuring since this was something that gave me a bit of a headache at the midfoot and instep because of how narrow they felt in the last version. These are also pretty wide at the toe box, and this helped a lot with my wider feet feeling more comfortable as they hit the ground. They're not the widest shoe out there, but it's definitely an improvement over the Renew Ride 2. The foam at the collar is comfortable, but it's also secure. My ankle does not slip like I thought it would when I first saw that the shoe had no extra lace hoops available. It allowed for my ankle to still have some flexibility and helped with creating a more natural feeling for my strides. The overall fit of the shoe is great as well, which is also due to the new upper that Nike added to this third generation of the Renew Ride. The mesh is a bit thinner and it feels a lot more flexible and breathable because of it. This helped my strides feel rather natural, and there was not a lot of heat retention within the shoe. This has been huge because I've been testing the shoe in Mexico, where it's been incredibly hot the past few days. Moving on to the midsole, once again the Renew foam changed, but it doesn't feel like it's that much softer than the previous version. It's very stable though, which is something that I've truly enjoyed for running and training with this shoe. The foam also doesn't feel like it has a heel drop that is as significant or perhaps noticeable as the one on the last version, providing an overall flatter feeling to the shoe. Something else that also played a role when it comes to stability is the heel clip that Nike added to the back of the shoe. When I first opened the shoes, I noticed that it was a very rigid piece of material and even became a bit concerned with how it would feel once I started using them for performance. It turned out to be great, and it didn't become uncomfortable at any point, all while bringing a lot of balance to the back of the shoe. Combining this with the overall security and fit of the shoe makes it a pretty great option for $75 without feeling too low or high quality. I think that this is a great in-between option where you don't feel like you're giving up a lot for the price, but also not getting and paying for a bunch of premium features. The shoe has also been great for training and other types of performance outside of running. I have been focusing my training around boxing for the past few months, and the stability provided by the shoes has proven quite helpful for this. Constantly being on the ball of my feet and having to pivot and rotate a lot while maintaining balance has been rather smooth. Since the shoes also feel a bit flatter against the ground, it helps with maintaining balance and helping with footwork, which has also transitioned to an overall better form and more power in my punches. Strength training has also been decent too because of this, since the midsole doesn't mess with your form and the stability also helps with not getting injured. The outsole feels very durable, and I want to say it's the most durable rubber I've seen in a while for a shoe at this price, but the traction isn't great. The shoes tend to slip a little bit easier with slightly wet, dusty, and or dirty surfaces, which becomes a bit tedious while running, but I noticed it primarily while doing core exercises. Definitely not a deal breaker for me though, since they're still just $75 US and everything else is overall great, but it's something to keep in mind when looking at them as an option. Casually, the shoes are decent, but they're not my favorite. I still believe that they're well worth the $75 US, don't get me wrong, and the wider, comfortable, but secure fit is great to walk around. I just haven't embraced them as much to wear in a more casual manner. I still wore them with jeans so you guys could see what they look like, but these definitely look a little bit better with shorts and or athletic outfits. They're comfortable to walk around with for a few hours, which I'm sure translates to them being, for the most part, comfortable standing around for a few hours as well, but I unfortunately didn't get a chance to try them out this way. I will continue testing them though, and also comparing them to the Renew Run 3 in a future video, but before we do that, make sure you watch the first impressions video on the second generation of the shoe if you haven't already.